Shalom, shalom, you are praise to Yahweh, Bashim, Shabbat, Shem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, the rule and teach well in scripture, salutations, Shalom, Akim, not for the doing this work in truth and faith and sincerity. Today we're just flowing in the spirit. You know, we're entering into World War III, and just as Yahweh, what Yahweh Shah mentioned, there will be wars and rumors of wars. Okay? So, with there being wars and rumors of wars, make no mistake that the war is still coming, and Lord willing, it comes soon. Okay? Now, they do have a media blackout with what's going on right now. Hmm. Right now, I'm looking for something a little bit more recently. And you can see that we're on the horizon of World War III.
You can't always plan when you'll need a gun. Rational gun owners carry not because it's a weapon, but because it's a shield.
World War III fears soar as China and Russia fly over disputed waters in joint bomber patrol. China and Russia have tightened their military relationship as both countries sent bombers on a patrol mission over the Pacific together, sparking fears of an all-out conflict. 4 of China's H-6K bombers and 2 Russian Tu-95 strategic bombers flew over the East China Sea and the Sea of Japan, the Russian military has confirmed. Russia's defense ministry announced the move was an attempt to improve relations between Moscow and Beijing. It said it was intended to develop and deepen the comprehensive Russia-China partnership, further increase the level of cooperation between the two militaries, expand their ability for joint action and strengthen strategic stability. The ministry added that the patrol flight wasn't directed against any third countries. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in October he would not rule out a Beijing-Moscow military partnership. Before Mr. Putin's statement addressing a potential alliance, both countries had refused to discuss the possibility of joining forces in the military field. However, both nations had previously praised their strategic partnership. The news came after South Korea's military revealed it had deployed a team of fighter jets after 4 Chinese and 15 Russian-flagged aircraft intruded into its Air Defense Identification Zone (KAIDZ). South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff (JCS) announced the Air Force had been deployed with tactical measures to fight the foreign jets. The JCS has said it believes China and Russia were carrying out a joint military training drill and added it would look into the matter. In a statement, the JCS said, "This incident seems to be a joint military drill between China and Russia."
You know, there have been joint military drills going on for the longest time, at least 3 years. And so, knowing that these joint military drills have been going on for so long, they're not preparing to play hopscotch. Okay, they're not preparing for a basic game or anything like that. Okay, these countries are preparing to go to war, and so with that, and knowing that these countries are preparing to go to war, America is going to be made desolate as a result of the third woe. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we don't know what the catalyst of this war is going to be, but we know it's going to happen because we have faith through Yahweh, by Yahweh Shai, through the word, through the scriptures, okay? Through the promise in the words that our Lord has spoken in the Holy Scrolls.
Russia, but it requires a further analysis.
$163 per car insurance. Now look at how much it is.
An air defense zone is a region which extends beyond the boundaries of a country's national airspace. It is not considered a territorial space but is used by a nation to provide an early warning system to a potential invasion. The air defense zone is not confined within international law, and foreign planes are meant to give prior notice before entering the area. China, Russia, South Korea, the US and Canada are some of the leading countries to employ ADZs. Just 18 months ago, South Korean warplanes opened warning fire at a similar joint patrol after Russian and Chinese aircraft air deployed. Jets from Japan cooperated with Seoul and blamed Russia and China of staging an incursion in its airspace. Moscow and Beijing denied such accusations, leading to a diplomatic row between South Korean and Russian officials. Yoon Do-han, South Korea's presidential press secretary.
This is Revelation chapter 11. Verse 14, and it reads, okay, in the same hour were there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. 7,000 is referred to as a complete number in the scriptures. Doesn't mean a literal 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven, to Yahweh. The second war is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay, what war is going to come all of a sudden? Okay, the third war is just going to spring up. All right, we don't know how that's going to happen. Okay, I mean, there's 1,000, case scenarios that this world war would happen. One via the dollar crashing, the revenge of Soleimani. I mean, it's endless. The possibilities are endless. But we do know that the third war is coming. So the second war is past, and the third war cometh quickly. And so they're not doing these joint drills and testing all their military power for nothing. Okay? It's to eventually go to war.
claimed Russia had apologized for the incident and would launch an investigation. Mr. Duhan said, Russia has conveyed its deep regret over the incident and said its defense ministry would immediately launch an investigation and take all necessary steps. The officer said such a situation would have never occurred if it followed the initially planned route. But the Russian embassy in Seoul hit back in a statement released moments later. They said, the Russian side did not make an official apology.
You know that means a lot of your kids, okay, they're going to be caused to go to war. All right, this is going to be a literal meat grinder because the technology has advanced since the Second World War, exponentially advanced from the Second World War. Okay, there's going to be a numerous amounts of bodies as a result of this war. Make no mistake. Salaki Akim, I just woke up. It was on my spirit to do this lesson. It says Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and the garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And so what's going to be with burning and fuel of fire? Okay? Number one, America's going to be burning. They're going to have burning and fuel of fire. All right? Not only will America be burning with fuel of fire, but, okay, you're going to have burning and fuel of fire in other parts of the world. Okay? These soldiers are not coming back home. Let's understand that. Once this war kicks off, they're not coming back home. They're going to be bodies for the fuel and fire.
Here's the cleaner internet on steroids, giving you the fastest, most powerful internet, web surfing, and video streaming you've ever had.
Shalakia for the commercials again. Okay, that's just one video. Alright, there's several videos about this war. Okay, namely, Israel, okay, are at odds with Iran. This was 4 days ago.
अभी अमेरिकी इंतजामिया और ईरान के माबैन कोई सिफारतकारी ताल्लुकात के क़याम को रोकने की कोशिश कर रही है। मुंतखब अमेरिकी
And it's in another language, so we're not gonna play that one. This was 5 days ago in Gaza.
You want to know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never.
Christians in Israel and Gaza in the West Bank celebrated Christmas. The IDF intercepted rocket fire from the Strip. 2 rockets were just fired from Gaza toward Israel. The Iron Dome aerial defense system intercepted both rockets, they tweeted. Overnight Friday, the Air Force carrying out retaliatory strikes, claiming to have hit a rocket manufacturing site, underground infrastructure, and a military post. Palestinian media and Hamas security forces reported that the bombings injured 2 civilians, including a 6-year-old child, causing material damage to a pediatric hospital in northeast Gaza. The IDF denying hitting a hospital altogether, blaming the damage on Hamas aggression. Late Thursday, tensions heated up with Israel's northern neighbor, Syrian military forces accusing Israel of striking near the Hama countryside, and according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, killing 6. The SDF saying, at 12:40 this morning, the Israeli enemy launched an aggression by directing a barrage of missiles. Our air defenses intercepted the missiles and downed most of them. Meanwhile, an El Al flight en route to Tel Aviv from Shanghai at the time was diverted, allegedly to avoid the airstrikes taking place, which is now being attributed to Israel. According to Ynet, Cyprus Air Control warned the pilot, signifying that local security forces may have forgotten to inform air traffic about the strikes. This flight map shows the unusual diversion, but the flight landed safely soon after. Israel's security forces rarely take responsibility for attacks on Iranian proxies in Syria, but their presence in the conflict is widely known. Lauren Izo, ILTV.
Now you have to remember that, they're going to be drawn out into war. Okay, this for some reason, some way, somehow, Israel is going to start this World War III as mentioned in the Holy Scrolls. All right, Israel's uh, the converts. Okay, because the world is beginning to wake up and understand and know that these are not the people of the Lord. Okay, it is dwelling there. Okay, they do not come from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They come from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, which does not make them an Israelite by blood. Okay, so let's go to this script really quick. Salakia, okay, give me one moment. This is Jeremiah chapter chapter 49, verse 20. And it reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Okay, so knowing what's going on right now, the Lord is definitely with destroying this land. Okay, with destroying these people. I mean, it is what it is right now. Okay, the Lord is in clean opposition to those people that are living in our land, also to the other heathens. Okay, this was 2 days ago. This is Yemen. There's wars everywhere.
المعين عن اتفاق الرياض عن تشكيل الحكومة، وجدا الكل متفائل ويقول بصوت واضح كل هنا انفجار في المطار كما نشاهد الآن. نعم هذا هو الانفجار كما نشاهد، ولكن المطار في الصالة. لا نعلم ما هو أنا بخير ونتابع الصورة. عودة الحكومة اليمنية الجديدة إلى عدن.
Yeah, war is nothing, and to my Akim out there that have been in the military, know that these wars are nothing to joke with. Okay, you got a lot of the brothers that suffer from PTSD, and various other ailments. Okay, being under Esau Edom's rulership. Okay? War is nothing to take lightly. It's not a joke. And the Lord should be taken very seriously. From every word that proceeds out the mouth of the Most High through His men, the prophets. Okay, every word written in the scriptures is true and should be taken very seriously. Hmm.
Defense News is proudly sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union. If you're a member of our nation's armed forces, the Department of Defense, or if your family is, we'd be proud to serve you too.
This is Defense News Weekly. It's been a while since our last edition, and clearly some things have changed. But we've got a lot to cover in this episode, so let's dive in. In this edition, we look at a fundamental change to weaponry that could alter the nature of Army combat. We'll hear the latest on the new pick for Secretary of Defense and how the Pentagon has made it easier for its personnel to work from home.
This is
Plus,
Esau's
we'll find out how
weapon.
many billions of dollars the U.S. made from
This is
weapons
Esau's blessing.
and take a look back at the biggest military and defense stories of 2020. It's our year-end episode with the latest news and analysis from the Pentagon to the platoon. This is Defense News Weekly.
There's no way our people are going to fight against Esau Edom. Okay, his weapon was a sword. All right, so there's no reason for you Jakes being in the military. Okay, you gotta die in those wars. That's going to happen because the Lord has not prescribed for us as a people to fight in other nations' matters. Okay, regardless of where we're located.
Welcome back to Defense News Weekly. I'm Andrea Scott. First up, a look at some of your military headlines. Army General Lloyd Austin is poised to become the first Black Secretary of Defense following his nomination by President-elect Joe Biden. Austin is a former head of U.S. Central Command, but his nomination faces some pushback from Congress. The first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine are rolling out to troops and DoD personnel. Following a recent FDA approval, the vaccine is headed first to healthcare workers and other essential staff, but it won't be made mandatory for all troops for now. And memorial services are being planned for legendary military test pilot Chuck Yeager. The first man to break the sound barrier died December 7th and will be memorialized January 15th in Charleston, West Virginia. The ceremony will be
Lord willing, I end it here. Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basel? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, that I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? This is Yahweh Shai. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Okay, this is the Lord coming back in the midst of World War III. He's going to single-handedly put an end to all the kingdoms of the earth. Okay, starting with the military power. 5, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury. I will bring down their strength to the earth. So this is the Most High sending our big brother back, Yahweh Shai, to destroy the kings of the earth, to destroy the system, to destroy their weapons, and to set up a kingdom for Israel. And so with that, giving our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakar Kadash. And until next time, Shalom.